work of our system. After the outbreak of the COVID-19, the Department of Culture and of Tourism has carefully studied the speeches of President Xi Jinping, and according to the unified arrangements of the headquarters of prevention and control, we have been engaged in the fight against the COVID-19 and coordinate the epidemic control efforts with the development of our sector. First of all is to apply the decisions of the higher government. We have moved very swiftly, and we have elaborated 6 principles. We have closed down all the public places for the cultural and tourism activities. We asked those units of work in the sector to postpone their activities. This has been very helpful in stopping the spread of COVID-19 in the cultural and the tourism sector. And the second is to build up the workforce to protect the work of the medics in our province. There's zero contamination among the medics in our sector. We have built up a team of 50 party members, and they are in connection with 2 communities. We have mobilized 287 party members and officials to go to the community and give them the PPEs. This has formed a great synergy against the COVID-19. Number 3 is to bring into full play the role and advantage of our sector. We have created more than 2,000 artworks, and we also have helped to build up the bookstores, the libraries inside the makeshift hospitals in order to enrich people's life during the epidemic time. For the medics, they can visit the A-level tourist zones for free. For more than 30,000 tourists blocked inside the province, we help them to go back home. This is our contribution. Second, the work resumption of the cultural and tourism has progressed steadily. We have seized the stage-based changes in this sector. In different times and in different areas, we have made tailored plans. While regularizing our prevention and control measures of the epidemic, we have accelerated the work resumption. In different areas, we allow people to have their own calendar of the work resumption. We have elaborated the document to help the public, cultural, and tourism places to gradually resume their work. And we also have the differentiated work resumption plans. For different categories of workplaces, we have published different types of guidelines so that they can consider their own condition and then draft a proposal. After the approval, they can get to the work. For 36 cultural places, it's back to work. More than 500 tourism agencies have also resumed their work. So are the restaurants, cyber bars, and other recreation places in the enclosed areas. According to the approval of the provincial government, they can get back to their work. For the demonstration park, composed of more than 2,000 culture-based enterprises, they have resumed their work. For 354 major cultural projects, they have resumed their production. And second, we have put the focus in the prevention and control, and we have been very careful in taking care of the security and safety of people in the province. The provincial government has organized a meeting in the way of the video conference to give the guidelines of the cultural and tourism sector. we have covered the 17 cities and prefectures in the province in order to put the prevention mechanism on a regular basis to fight against the COVID-19. We have studied the instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping, and according to the work resumption arrangement of the provincial government, we have accompanied the epidemic control during the Labor Day holiday. In major scenic spots, there's no major accident in the tourism sector and there's no major complaints. Number 3 is that we are very proactive in helping the enterprises out. We have elaborated provincial policies, improved the services to the enterprises, and we have also offered guidelines to the enterprises so that they can maximize the benefits from the provincial policies. Every week, we have the distribution and dispatch system so that we can better help the enterprises to solve their problems. Number 3 is a very good work resumption momentum of the cultural and tourism enterprises. We are seizing this opportunity in order to have the high quality and high speed development of the enterprises. We have improved the environment for doing business. We have also received the support and active reaction from the collaborating authorities. With the support of the local government, we have published the policies and several measures to support the work resumption of the cultural and tourism reinvigoration. Second, the consumption market has come back to normal. Because today we have a better control of the epidemic, so for the cultural and tourism market, it starts to get back to the normal activity. We have received 7.3 million tourists in the major scenic spots, and the per capita expenditure for tourism is around 300 RMB. We have also issued 4 batches of consumption vouchers for the cultural and the tourism sector. This means that people are very keen to join the cultural and tourism activities. We have also the activities like inviting the local Hubei people to visit the local scenic spots. This will help the reinvigoration of the cultural and tourism sector in the province. Number 4, we believe that this sector has a very big potential. After this outbreak of the epidemic, we have showcased the heroic image of the city and of the people. Everyone's moved by this touching image. According to the statistic, after the epidemic, Wuhan has become the most popular destination city and Hubei the most popular destination province for Chinese tourists. Currently, we have not yet resumed the cross-provincial border tourism, but I believe that later more people will come to the province to feel the charm of this heroic city and this heroic province. This means new opportunity. Secondly, I'd like to talk about several measures to support the cultural and tourism sector. The provincial government has decided to support the revitalization of the cultural and tourism sector. On the 27th of April, we have published several measures to support the work resumption of the cultural and tourism sector. Taking this opportunity, I'd like to brief you the key content. First of all, the background of these measures. Cultural and tourism sector is a pillar sector for our province, representing 10.7% of the provincial GDP. This is an inclusive sector which has a long production chain, and it can drive the prosperity of many other sectors. It's also an important creator of job opportunities. This epidemic has made a big blow to this sector since the very beginning, and the negative impact is long-lasting. For Q1, the loss of our sector reached more than 150 billion RMB. And now, because we have put the prevention and control measures on a regular basis, we are accelerating the work resumption and revitalization of the cultural tourism sector in order to respond to people's demand for ever better life. And it can also help the resumption of the normal activities of the society and help to guarantee more job opportunities for the people. The publication of those supportive measures is a detailed action by the local government to support the sector. It can help the enterprises from the sector out, consolidate their confidence, and help them to solve their problems. It will also be very helpful in promoting the revitalization of the cultural and tourism sector. Second, the major content of these measures. The government will continue to play a leading role in providing the policies, financial means, and at the same time, we are bringing to full play the role of the market. We are stimulating the potential and activity of the market. We will pay attention to the long-term and short-term effects. From 5 aspects, we have proposed 18 rules and articles to help the sector, and we have clarified the responsibilities. First of all, we increase our support to the enterprises. This is our top priority to help the enterprises out. For example, the financial support earmarked a fund for the enterprises, enlarging their financing channels and prolonging their debt payment. This will help to consolidate the route of development. Second is to support the integrated development. We will continue to consider the supply side reform as a major guideline. We will accelerate the building of the brands of cultural and the tourism sector, transformation of the sector, and encourage the birth of new types of business models in the cultural tourism. In total, there are 4 measures to help the integration. Number 3 is the development of the projects. Projects are important to help us to realize a recession-defying growth. The cultural and tourism projects will help us to improve the public service capacity and also to consolidate the fundamentals of the sector. Number 4 is to enlarge the market. We are aiming at resuming the work in an orderly manner in the cultural and the tourism sector. In the future, we will make more promotion of our cultural tourism sector, make pilot projects, and also give beneficiary policies to the consumers. Number 5, the application of policies. This is one of our key tasks. We will be very careful and diligent in applying the measures to improve our services and in better serving the enterprises and help them out in an enabling environment. Thirdly, the publication of the measures will require a better application. These measures constitute an important beneficiary policy, and for our Department of Tourism and Culture, we will first of all carry out all kinds of promotion activities to spread the information to the enterprises so that they can maximize the benefits. At the same time, we will also concretize our measures. Especially for the key tasks, we have go through the whole working plan. We have covered every detail so that we can apply every detail of the working plan. We will also not ignore our synergy with the other collaborating authorities in the province so that we can form a big picture of synergy. So that is all for my briefing. Now the floor is open for your questions. Please first identify yourself.
你好，中国日报记者提问。 刚才雷厅长在支持文化旅游产业恢复振兴若干措施进行了解读。那么我们想了解一下，在加大企业纾困帮扶方面，财政部门有哪些措施和办法？谢谢。
The cultural and tourism sectors, what are the detailed measures to give financial support to the sector? To Mr. Chen Ming. In order to coordinate the epidemic control and the socio-economic development and reach the goal of 6 stabilities and 6 guarantees, our department has overcome all the existing extraordinary difficulties and challenges and applied the several measures of boosting the socio-economic development. We have used the tax cuts, fiscal subsidies, as well as other measures in guaranteeing the job opportunities. We are helping the enterprises, including those working in the cultural and tourism sector, to solve their difficulties. This time, we have published several documents and several measures about the revitalization of the cultural and tourism sector. For those hardest hit in the epidemic, we have added up the fiscal support and financial support to those enterprises, mainly in the following aspects. First of all, we have applied all types of fiscal tax rate cut policies after the epidemic in order to lower the financial burden of the enterprises in the sector and help them out. At central level and provincial level, we have published a series of tax and fees cut measures. Together with tax bureaus and other responsible authorities, give more interpretations to the enterprises, offer better service. For those very clear policies of tax cuts, we should apply them. And for the other policies within a rational range, we will try to give the highest level of cuts to the enterprises. Second is the earmarked fund support to the enterprises. Together with the other authorities, we will do some basic work to apply the earmarked fund from the central level, and we will incorporate the earmarked funds at provincial level designated to the cultural and the tourism sector to help those enterprises. For the funds not mobilized during the epidemic, we will try to use them in other rational and correct areas so that they are in their full use. For example, today we have carried out the measures to encourage people to participate in the cultural and tourism sectors and encourage the work resumption of the cultural and tourism sector. Number 3 is to enlarge the role of the government's guide and investment for the government fund state-owned enterprises. They can use the shareholding investment and other ways to support the cultural and tourism enterprises out of this epidemic. We can also use the earmarked fund to have a maximum effect of support to help the enterprises to fight against the epidemic and resume their work. Number 4 is to enlarge the role of the government bond. For the local government and relevant authorities, we have made some preliminary preparations. For those qualified public welfare projects, they can apply for the support of the government bond support. We will follow the due procedure in the issuance of the government bond. Together with the other relative authorities, we will apply every single detail and article of the supportive measures from the central government and local government solve the difficulties for the enterprises so that all the enterprises from this cultural and tourism sector can benefit from the diversified policies and get out of the difficult situation.
大家好，湖北日报记者提问。
Good afternoon, I'm from Hubei Daily. Currently, with the development and application of the internet technology, online programs have become one of the major recreation activities for the people. We have also noticed that in the several measures of the cultural and tourism sector revitalization, there is also one article aiming at this internet online programs. So what are the details? To Mr. Yang Zhenqing. Thank you for your question. The video and audio industrial park is one of the key projects of our province. It's also a measure taken by the Hubei Radio and Television Bureau to realize the high quality of the provincial cultural and tourism sector. It is one important part of the policy. Its core is to bring into full play the guiding role of the government and the service of the government, and also encourage the Optic Valley of Hubei Province to play its role and illustrate its advantage of human resources and technology. We will encourage a rational clustering of the radio and the television elements to have the new business models and a featured and differentiated development so that in the middle of China we can have a new highland of the radio and television program development. Nowadays, under the strong leadership of the central and provincial government, we have taken regularized measures against the COVID-19. At the same time, we are also monitoring the development of this audio-video industrial park. For example, the copyright application, cultivation of the talents, in total 6 aspects. We put the focus on the development of online and offline platforms so that we can add up more momentum of growth of this industrial park. And second is to build up a synergy among the enterprises inside this industrial park. They can innovate in a coordinated way so that they can realize the common development. Number 3, inside the industrial park, we have initiated a joint meeting mechanism in order to encourage the synergy among the departments and across different hierarchy levels. We are fully convinced that with a science-based top design and coordinated development path, as well as the highly efficient and convenient platform for development, the television and radio sector will develop further and contribute to the cultural sector in the whole province. Next question, please. Thank you. I'm from the China News Agency. Currently, according to the joint prevention and control mechanism of the State Council, we will gradually open the public places like the libraries, art museums, and others. So, when could we expect the opening of all of them? Thank you for your question. For the 4 types of cultural-related workplace, when they could resume their work and reopen to the public, it's a hot topic among the people. Currently, we are regularizing the prevention and control measures of COVID-19. For the 4 types of public places, we are gradually resuming their work and reopening them towards the public. We have the online appointment and reservation of the tickets. First of all, we have to study the current status of the epidemic control. When we have the enabling conditions, we can open those places back to public in a safe way. Second, the Department of the Culture and Tourism is in collaboration with the Hubei Health Commission. After our analysis, we can announce to the public when we could reopen those places. Number 3, we will continue to be very careful in applying the regularized measures of prevention and control of the epidemic, especially the document published by the provincial headquarters of regularizing the epidemic control measures in a targeted way. And we also have the inter-system policy and the work plans for the work resumption. During this process, we will also draft an emergency reaction document so that the reopening could be realized in an orderly manner. In principle, our reopening of those places should not be earlier than those in other provinces. For the provincial stadiums, museums, they have applied the measures and they are fully prepared for the reopening to the public. For example, we have carefully studied the future potential flow of visitors on a science-based manner, and we have also been equipped with the test equipments and the disinfection equipments. For the provincial libraries, they have developed an online appointment platform, and they are equipped now with a disinfection facility for their books. For the art museum, they have also elaborated their working plan for the reopening to the public. Recently, we are in discussion with relevant authorities. We are organizing the expert teams to do the analysis and evaluation of the situation. After the approval of the government, we will reopen those institutions to the public, and please refer to the official announcements. Thank you for your introduction, and that is all for today's press conference.